If you're into podcasts, you should check out our podcast, Criminally Listed Presents Into the Killing. It's about cold cases that were eventually solved. New episodes are released every other week. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and anywhere you find your favorite podcasts. The Winchester Mystery House is the original escape room. It sits on 24,000 square feet in San Jose, California. That's about half the size of a professional football field. And as you'll learn, the house makes no sense, at least to us mortal beings. One anecdote to get you started is this. After Sarah Winchester died, the new owner found a door in the grand ballroom. The door led to another door, and another, and another, and by now, we've lost count. At the end of the doors was a safe. Somehow, code crackers opened it and found another safe. They somehow opened that one. Inside, they found a lock of hair from Sarah's baby, who had died just a few weeks after she was born. They also found the obituary of her husband. But why? No one knows. No one really knows anything about the Winchester Mystery House because the owner, Sarah Winchester, kept to herself. She never talked to the media. Not even the people who work for her would spill information. So Sarah created a house with probably the most obscure architecture in the world. This has left people wondering for decades what was going on in the life and mind of Sarah Winchester. Here are 3 theories. Number 3. A mad woman. Sarah Winchester may have been misunderstood. Others say she was mentally ill. She grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, and went to Yale University as a young adult. She admired her father, who was a well-respected carpenter. She loved learning about the up-and-coming designs, especially Victorian style. In 1862, at the age of 23, Sarah married 25-year-old William Winchester. They had grown up across the street from each other as kids, so their families were very close. That's why it was devastating for both families when William's older sister, Annie, suddenly died in 1864. But happier times were yet to come, at least temporarily. 25-year-old Sarah gave birth to their precious daughter in June 1866. Sarah and William named her Annie after William's late sister. Sadly, things soon turned sinister. Annie couldn't eat and started losing weight quickly. Her family doctor diagnosed her with marasmus. That's when a person can't absorb nutrients and they eventually starve to death. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to 1-month-old Annie. She was buried next to her aunt of the same name. Devastated is too simple of a word to describe the grief that Sarah and William felt. Sarah had become even more reclusive than before. William started working even more. William started taking over his father's company, which produced the Winchester rifle. The model was revolutionary. It was a repeating rifle where the shooter could fire 15 shots before reloading. William eventually sold the gun model overseas and it became a hit worldwide. The Winchester Repeating Arms Company got contracts, some worth millions of dollars. The company even started making ammunition to meet demand. By 1876, the Winchester rifle was iconic. By 1880, the company was worth $3 million at the time. That's about $75 million today. The couple used their money to buy a mansion. They bonded over design and customizing their home. In 1869, Sarah's father passed away from a spinal disease. In May 1880, 41-year-old Sarah's mom died. In December, William's father, 7-year-old Oliver, passed away. In March 1881, Sarah lost her husband William to tuberculosis at age 43. And then, in the mid-1880s, her eldest sister Mary died. Some say that Sarah was so grief-stricken that she developed obsessive-compulsive disorder. Her OCD manifested as compulsive building and using the number 13 over and over in her home. There are 13 bathrooms. The chandeliers have 13 candles. Rooms have 13 wall panels. The stairs have 13 steps. Her will had 13 parts, and she signed it 13 times. Also, there was a rumor that construction on the house could never stop, so it happened all night and all day. Sarah didn't have blueprints for her ideas, so she would meet with the project manager each day and come up with a new idea. Some of those ideas ended up being stairways leading to ceilings, doors that opened to drops, and windows on the floors. The home has 10,000 windows, 6 kitchens, 2,000 doors, 47 stairways, and strangely, only 1 shower. There are 160 rooms, 17 chimneys, 47 fireplaces, and somehow 2 basements. Sarah also designed her 7-story house built on a floating foundation. The weight of the house was equal to the weight of the soil that used to be there. Because California is known for earthquakes, this was a great idea. And her engineering came in handy in 1906. A 7.9 magnitude earthquake hit San Francisco. San Jose is about a 55-mile drive southeast of San Francisco. Sadly, 700 people were killed. More than 225,000 people lost their homes. The earthquake is still ranked as one of the most significant of all time. People from South Oregon to Central Nevada felt the shock. The Winchester mansion felt it too. 67-year-old Sarah was in one of the rooms at the time of the earthquake. Her servants found her trapped behind rubble. They dug her out, and luckily she was okay. Part of the home was destroyed by the earthquake. The front section and upper floors were damaged, and a 7-story tower collapsed. But ultimately, her floating foundation is said to have saved the integrity of the house. Instead of repairing the damages, Sarah had the unsafe parts removed and boarded up. Perhaps because she didn't repair the home and simply closed down some parts, more rumors spread about the mysterious workings inside the Winchester mansion. The main rumor was that Sarah had gone mad. Number 2, a Masonic Puzzle. Other people believe Sarah Winchester was an absolute genius and that she made her home as a puzzle that is yet to be figured out. In 1881, after William died, Sarah spent time in Europe. Her trip is undocumented, and that caused a whirlwind of rumors about what she did. One theory is that she received an invitation to join a French co-ed chapter of the Freemasons. The Masons are the oldest fraternal organization dedicated to enlightenment. They're secretive and mysterious. They have special handshakes, symbols, and a code of ethics. It's a social and philanthropic group, but since they're so secretive, people have developed conspiracy theories painting the group as a cult. Many Freemasons are said to be rich and well-educated. Some say Sarah's father was a Freemason. He was wealthy and a pillar of the community, so it wouldn't have been hard for him to join. If he was a Freemason, it wouldn't have been a stretch for Sarah to become one as well. Sarah graduated from Yale University, and the school is said to be associated with the Freemasons. Sarah spoke 4 languages, was wealthy, and donated to charitable organizations. Some people have found symbols around Sarah's home as evidence that she was a Freemason. For example, the gate in the front of the house has daisies in the middle of 2 suns. These symbols represent innocence and fidelity, 2 qualities that are necessary to become a Freemason. On the lawn, 2 palm trees frame the house. The trees are said to represent the twin pillars in front of Solomon's temple. In the Bible, Solomon's temple was in Jerusalem. The temple held the Ark of the Covenant with the 10 Commandments. Sarah only let people enter the house through the northwest corner of the home. Mason initiates enter the Masonic Lodge through the northwest door. Then Sarah had a staircase with 7 switchbacks, which some interpret as a nod to Jacob's ladder. In the Bible, Jacob has a dream where a ladder goes from heaven to earth. The ladder has 7 rungs. Sarah's staircase is taken as a symbol of reaching a higher degree of enlightenment. Sarah's grand ballroom is of extreme curiosity to those who believe Sarah was a Freemason. The grand ballroom is the only room in the house that was made without nails, just like Solomon's temple. The floor has 2 different colors of wood in a checkered pattern, just like the floors in Masonic lodges. The ballroom also has 2 stained glass windows with quotes from Shakespeare. The quotes are, "Why not class the tables go their thoughts?" The other is, "These same thoughts people this little world." These lines are from Shakespeare's play Troilus and Cressida. One of the last lines of the play uses the name Winchester. The design of the winding banner in Sarah's windows was used by English philosopher Francis Bacon, who was a Freemason. Some people believe that Bacon is the true author of Shakespeare's plays. Others suggest Sarah's staircases to nowhere was her attempt at recreating a real-life M.C. Escher painting. Escher was a famous Dutch artist. One of his most famous paintings has staircases and people walking on them, but they defy gravity. Escher is said to have been a Freemason as well. Or, maybe like Escher's paintings, Sarah's confusing architecture would make sense in 4D. Maybe, in a different dimension, the rooms and the stairs to nowhere will lead somewhere. Number 1. A house built by ghosts. After William died, the rumor is that Sarah visited a medium. The medium supposedly channeled William's spirit, and he had a message for Sarah: move out west and build a house where construction would never cease. If construction stopped, she would die. William's spirit, through the medium, said that Sarah was haunted by ghosts of those who died from Winchester rifles. So Sarah moved to San Jose, California, and bought a 2-story farmhouse on 45 acres. Sarah hired carpenters to start building. By 1890, her home was 7 stories. She made a conservatory, a ballroom, and a carriage room, and so many other rooms, 160 to be exact. Sarah allegedly slept in different rooms each night to confuse the spirits, so they give up trying to find her and leave. Sarah died from congestive heart failure in 1922. Someone bought the house for the equivalent of $2 million today. On Halloween in 1924, illusionist Harry Houdini visited the Winchester home. He was on tour trying to prove that ghosts aren't real. He and 2 other magicians spent the night in Sarah's seance room. What happened that night has never been made public. But what we do know is Houdini said that Mrs. Winchester has a vast wardrobe of variously covered robes and used a different robe for each spirit. The quote on its own doesn't seem too wild. But consider that Sarah Winchester was already dead. She was also very private and never shared information about herself. So how could Houdini have known this? And if he didn't believe in spirits, why would he have mentioned it? Some believe that Houdini made contact with the spirit of Sarah Winchester herself. Others also believe they've contacted Sarah's spirit in the house. A tour guide named Samantha had a group in the area of the house where Sarah was trapped after the 1906 earthquake. The tour guide was telling the story when she heard a sigh from the hallway. She thought maybe someone was late for the tour. When she looked into the hallway, she saw a dark, blurry figure. The figure was a short, petite woman wearing black. The figure quickly walked around the corner and disappeared. Sarah fits this exact description. Perhaps she didn't like remembering the time her beloved house was damaged. Many visitors have reported seeing the ghost of a handyman named Clyde. He has black hair and a mustache, and he's wearing white overalls and a Victorian hat. He's seen pushing a wheelbarrow in the basement or fixing the fireplace in the ballroom. One visitor saw this ghost and told management that she loved the actor they had hired. But he wasn't an actor. An original photo that hangs in the house is of 10 construction workers. One of them looks just like Clyde. Sarah was known to treat her staff exceptionally well. She paid them well, and she may even bought them homes. So it's not shocking that Clyde would be committed to his job even after death. A living maintenance worker named Danny heard footsteps above him in the house. The area of the house was off limits to the public. He thought someone was trespassing, so he followed the footsteps to the next floor. But no one was there. Yet he could still hear the footsteps above him. So he went to the next floor. Still, he couldn't see anyone. The footsteps above him persisted. He went all the way to the roof and didn't see anyone. Staff and visitors at the house hear disembodied voices, bangs on doors, and organs playing on their own. People have also reported seeing books turn pages by themselves and ghostly apparitions. Contractors as early as 1890 have reported paranormal experience. One crew saw a woman holding a candle in the dark, watching them work. In 1922, John Brown, the owner of the house, leased it. He was an amusement park entrepreneur and turned the Winchester property into a public tourist attraction. Some say Brown leveraged the rumors of the house being haunted to make money. Some even say that he added some of the strange things in the house, such as the items that have patterns of the number 13. But like the house itself, it's all a mystery. Today, the Winchester Mystery House is a tourist attraction, complete with Halloween haunts, axe throwing at the stables, digital tours, and in-person tours. The house is even available as a wedding venue. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. If you did find it interesting, please make sure you subscribe. We'll have a new video about the paranormal every week. If you just discovered this channel, please make sure you check out our other channel, Criminally Listed. We have over 325 videos featuring bizarre but true crime stories. You can find it at youtube.com/criminallylisted. Thanks again for watching.